it's Miss Fashion My World here, and today I'm going to show you guys how I refresh my curly clips extensions and leave no hair out when I install it. So I've had these curly clip extensions for probably 6 months now. I purchased them in January while I was in the States, and I wore them on and off for a couple of months, and I think the last time I wore them probably was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I wore a ponytail and I just like used the extensions in the back to add length to my ponytail. So I don't keep them all nice and proper. As you can see, I like bunched them all up in this one box, and I purchased 2 boxes of the shoulder length extensions, which were about like $179 each. And I just kept one box. I have one box at one of the cartons at my boyfriend's house, and I have one here. So I like the box because it's easy for storing the items, and it's like really nice and hard. So I'm going to show you guys how these extensions look, because I really just threw them in there. So this is how they look when you just ball them up and throw them in there. And yeah, they are not like tamed or anything. I just took them out, threw them in the box. They're really easy to refresh if you wash them or condition them and let them dry, but I'm not going to do all that today. As you can see, my hair is just twisted up. I used Giovanni Direct Leave-In, and whenever I use too much of it, it leaves my hair like all foamy. So I was like, what else can I do to be able to be presentable to go out instead of having to like put a hooded dryer on my head. So I decided I was going to pull these out since I haven't worn them in a while. So I usually start with the longer, like you get quite a few pieces depending on how full you want your hair to be, and I know for myself I prefer for it to be full, and the more you fluff it, then the bigger it gets. Like if you use a product on it and you kind of like massage it in kind of like your own hair, the more you define it, the less big your hair will be. So I'm taking one of the longer lengths, and I'm just going to probably put it in the middle. And I'm telling you, it really doesn't matter that I have these, and they're just like regular clip-ins. You just slide the comb in and then press it down. And there's no real rhyme or reason to the way I'm going to install these. So I'm just going to take another long one. These have 4 clips on them. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go a little bit higher, more centered compared to the other one. Just slide it into where my twists are. So that's 2. So this is a shorter one with 3 pieces. They recommend you like add this to the bottom part of your hair. So I'm just gonna lift this up some. Probably should have did that first, but yeah. And slide this in. As you can see, it's already looking full. Now I'm gonna look for, let's see. I should have detangled these before I started the video, but I didn't. I'm going to take one with 3 and just snap it in there on the top. And then I'm going to go in on the side. And that's just how you want your hair to fall, is how you can kind of angle it. Let's see. Take another one. This one has 2 pieces. Just kind of tuck that away a little. And I'm using the mirror behind me, so it might look a little weird, like I'm not looking into the camera. And to fill it in, I like to do like the flipping method where I kind of like flip it so it kind of looks a little bit seamless. So instead of sliding the combs in downwards, I'm sliding them frontwards and clipping them. And then just laying it over the track. And I'll do one in the front so you guys can see a little bit better. Instead of going this way, I'm flipping it upside down. Then I'm sliding it in. I'm going to slide it in here because I kind of want it coming at an angle. And I'm just going to use this to kind of camouflage. So, and I have one more piece to fill this section right here in. And I can do this just a normal way, slide it in. And like I said, you can kind of style it the way you want to. I just need to use my mirror to ensure that none of these are showing. And if a little bit of the clip is showing, you could always go in with a hairpin and just use the hairpin to slide in, and it just looks like you just have hair growing out of your head. So this is probably a little bit full for some people, but it works for me. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of a leave-in treatment from Infusium 23. Put a little in my hand. It's like really watery, so just to give it like a nice smell, and then I can kind of move it around the way I want it. And with me, like having this for 6 months, I've trimmed some pieces off of it. Like if the ends start looking a little bit frazzled or like just not the way I like it, I just take a scissor, like something like this. I would just take a scissor and clip it off, or just blend it in. I mean, it really looks like your natural hair. So that's how it looks in the front, side, the back, and the other side, and the top.